Hi Booktube. I'm here with my first currently reading of 2024. I am kind of a little fancier right now because I'm going to a work party shortly we're having a belated Christmas party. Anywho, the first thing I want to talk about reading is actually a comic on my phone. I'm taking it very slow because I've decided instead of like scrolling social media at work, I'm going to read comics on my phone at work. So I can't just sit there and read for like an hour or two. I actually have to like do stuff. So whenever I get a break, I pull up this comic, and it is The Batman Who Laughs. And I'm not going to edit this video, so you can Google the cover if you really want to know what it looks like. So basically, the Joker dies while Batman's around, and in the Joker's heart, a toxin is released, and whoever's standing over him when he dies gets infected with this toxin, and then they become the Joker. So it's like the Batman meets the Joker, and like what happens when like Batman doesn't have any inhibitions. So it's interesting. Okay, and I'm gonna continue on with some comics. I just have a stack here. I'm just gonna go through in the way that it is stacked. So Dinosaur Sanctuary 1 by Itaru Kinoshita, and the paleontologist consultant is Shinichi Fujiwara, and I love his sections and how he talks about becoming a paleontologist and why certain things are drawn the way they are. So for example, we have this, did they show it? Oh no, that's a pretty cool scene where the thing eats, but we don't want to show that. There's a picture of, there it is, of the Gigantosaurus sitting, and then like his section, he writes a little section, and in that section he writes about the bones and why a dinosaur sits that way. And then we have these little critters. What are these called? I don't know what they are called. Troodons. I'm not up on all my, there's lots of dinosaurs, so I don't know all their names. And then of course we have the Triceratops, and the Triceratops, here it is there, has only three, has a broken horn. So it's about the sanctuary that's kind of underfunded, and they're looking for ways to make more money, attracting more visitors to the dinosaur sanctuary. So that's pretty cool. And it ends on a cliffhanger. So my brother brought me book 2, and I hope that one doesn't end on a cliffhanger, because I don't know if book 3 is out yet in English. So, and I think it'd make a great TV show, a great anime, of course. The first book I finished this year is actually Bizarre Romance by Audrey Niffenegger and Eddie Campbell, and this is their collaboration of different stories. So he's a comic book artist and she writes short stories, so it's a combination of like short stories. This story was really creepy. Anyway, so it's a combination of short stories and comics, and like they're kind of like creepy, weird stories. So like this story, for example, is about a woman who is unhappy in her marriage, and she goes to volunteer at a cat shelter, and the cat shelter owner dies and leaves this lady her house. And yeah, it's a ghost story, and it is really weird. Yeah, it's quite an interesting. I wish it feels like flash fiction as opposed to like 100% developed stories. So they're more like ideas. Like this guy gets a pet angel. Yeah, so it's interesting. It was good first read. I haven't officially started this one yet, but this is going to be a reread. And first, I have to talk about this book to talk about this one. I tried and I searched, and I remember this book coming up when I Googled, comics about solipsism. And I remember reading this one, like it was recommended at least 3 times. I go back looking for it because I read this and I was like, not entirely sure what this has to do with solipsism. Maybe I don't know enough yet to understand it, but then I went to go back and look through this stuff, and I couldn't find the recommendations again, and I was just like, did I dream this up? Is this what's going on? But anyways, I'm glad I read it. It was really interesting. So, this is a good page to demonstrate it. So what it is, it's basically you're in this house, and then there's different blocks of time. So like the big picture is 1986. And then you get a little snippet. So this is 1962, 1933, 1991, and it goes all the way from like 3 billion BC to where's happens here at the end where it goes right to the future. 23, no, it's before that. 2313. I don't know. Maybe it's not right at the end. But yeah, it's really cool. So you see, like, this is 1553. So the house isn't there yet, but we get a little block of time here where it's 1992. So it's really interesting. And I heard it's going to be made into a movie, kind of along the same lines of Cloud Atlas, where they take the same actors to play the different time periods. But there's not much of a story going on. It's more just like things that are happening in this house. So like there's various people dancing. We follow this kid as he's doing getting ready to do a somersault. So he's there. And the background changes each time, and he's like doing a head. Oh, I think he's just doing a headstand. Yeah, so it's really cool, I think. Yeah, it's basically a plotless but interesting comic. And so I was wrapping my head around books that deal with solipsism, and I think this one is perfect. I've read this before. Unfortunately, I think I lent it to someone and I never got it back. So I brought another copy. I'm happy to have it and support this author. So basically, we get pictures of this world that's slowly disintegrating, like time and physics are kind of going around, and we follow this person as he wanders around and contemplates the scenery. So that is, he's alone. There's funny stuff going on in the world. It represents like his mind state as well. And Martin Vaughn James is a Canadian. So this wasn't on my TBR, but I'm going to read it now. I've been wanting to reread it, and now's the perfect time with my solipsism theme. I just picked this book up yesterday at the library. My hold came in, Rosewater by Tate Thompson. I stuck a bookmark in it because I want to start it right away. So yeah, this hasn't started yet, but is going to be read like starting tomorrow maybe. I have a lot to do tonight. I'm making good progress on The Second Rebel by Lyndon Lewis. I'm 154 pages in. Yeah, I am enjoying this. I probably should have refreshed myself on the first book before going into this, because there's some things where I'm just like, I don't exactly remember why this is going on, but I'm just going to continue, and it has explained some stuff, thankfully. So, yes, this is very good. We are introduced to a fourth character in here. So the first book we get 3 characters. We get the first sister, who is a nun crossed with a prostitute almost. And this Leto, who is a soldier, and Hero, who is they get linked and fight together. And we follow them. And then we also get, in this chapter now, Luce, who is Leto's sister and has kind of been left behind while he's gone off and joined the rebel forces, and she has to deal with, life. And, wow, I'm doing the Scooby-Doo challenge, which is a Conqueror challenge, and I'm biking, and so I'm biking, I'm reading this. I read the first 2 mysteries. They're just fun little mysteries featuring Batman and Scooby-Doo, and we get introduced to the Bat Dog. There's the Bat Dog right there. The first story is about them being dog-napped. So yeah, it's cute. And the second one is, they make a good point. So Joker and Harley Quinn buy up the harbor front, and they start developing it. And everyone's saying well, they've done more for the world than Batman's done and all the other rich people have done so far. They're actually pitting places where people can be employed and go to enjoy and create a sense of community. So yeah, that was an interesting point. Last night I just finished this, Patience by Daniel Clowes. This was really cool. So we follow this guy on the back. His wife he comes home one day and his wife is murdered, and his goal then becomes he finds this person he can travel through time, and his goal then is to prevent this murder or to seek revenge. He doesn't know exactly what he wants to do. So he gets, back and forth in time, and it plays with all the ideas of, like the fun ideas that you come up with when you think about time traveling. Like, there's one point where he contemplates going and like becoming his own father. He's just like, I wish I grew up with a father. And he goes back to his house. He's just like, nah, that's a little too weird. And then he gets stuck in a certain time period, and what he does creates the future. Yeah, and it's really quite cool. Really interesting concept and really cool. Like, I love the colors in this. And the times that he goes to, most of it is in the past, but he does go to the future at one point. Oh, no, that's, who needs this? Okay, I'm trying to find a scene that's not nude. This one? It's this blue girl. Yeah, so that's Patience by Daniel Clowes. And I think that's it. Looking around because there's books everywhere. But I think that is it for my currently reading. It is, after all, the first week of a new year. And I hope to get through a lot of books this month. So, thank you for watching.